Episode 30. This is the Inside Deschutes County podcast. It's available everywhere. You can subscribe on any podcast platform. You can also find us on deschutes.org/podcast.
Deschutes County is an amazing place to live.
Ease of access.
Work and play.
Great place to raise a family.
I love the weather and the high desert.
At Deschutes County, we provide excellent service.
We're here to help you.
Deschutes County is the heart of Oregon.
Everyone wants to be here.
This is episode 30 of the Inside Deschutes County podcast. We hope your summer's off to a great start. Thank you so much for listening. I'm Eric Breon. We're talking about the county budget on this episode, but I have a feeling we're going to talk about some other things too. But county commissioners just adopted the fiscal year 2025 budget. They did that on June 24th. So we're going to jump in, talk to the man, the myth, the legend himself, the budget manager for Deschutes County, Dan Emerson. Dan, thanks for stopping by.
Thank you for having me, Eric. This is awesome.
I think we might be in your wife's old office.
I think
Possibly,
so.
maybe?
I think so. Yeah, it's definitely this one or the one right over. I mean, she was the PIO here at the county for some time, and also at health services, and she did emergency preparedness and health services and went through the whole COVID thing, and she was in this, I think this was the office.
Awesome person.
Very cool person. I think
I've worked with
so.
her for, you probably think so.
Totally.
I worked with her for a little bit. She helped me on board, so
Oh, nice.
tell her I said hello.
I definitely will. Yeah.
How's the little one?
So Callum,
You got a little one.
I got a little one. Cal, first child. He's 10 years old, and he's just, he's just amazing. He's light of life, you know.
He's a cute kid. I saw a photo. I think everybody shows photos of him. He probably should be in the inserts that they put in the picture frames at like Target.
Yeah.
Cute kid.
He got the best of my genetics, that's for sure.
Is he shooting hoops yet?
He actually does play on the little hoop,
basketball
the 2-footer. All he does is dunk though, and then he makes like growling noises after he dunks.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So
right.
no, he's the best, and that's pretty much.
Because you're a basketball guy.
Yeah. I played basketball. I still play basketball recreationally.
Oh, you still play?
Yeah. I'll still get out there and run with the team or something. So yeah.
All right. Athletic guy then.
Once upon a time. I'm getting a little older now.
Basketball. Who's your team? Did you watch the finals?
I did watch the finals, Boston and the Mavericks. I'm not really a fan of either team, but my team is the Chicago Bulls. They haven't done much in a while, but...
Well, I was going to ask, Chicago Bulls team now or Chicago Bulls team 90s?
Yeah.
That's a big thing.
Yeah.
Because it's either Jordan or it's...
It was Jordan. My mom grew up in Chicago. She was there for some of her time growing up, and... when I was growing up, I just remember always having Michael Jordan on the screen and Scottie Pippen, and that Bulls team was absolutely the best team ever. No offense to 15 Warriors and those teams, but so I started off as a 90s Bulls fan, but then my mom told me you just can't be a fair weather fan. You got to stay
with it.
Yeah, so I'm still a Bulls fan, even
Still
though
a Bulls fan.
It's been a rough ride for many years.
So has Cal got a jersey or...
He doesn't.
What does he deck out in?
He's decked out in whatever we can find on Facebook free.
There you go. The hand-me-downs from family members.
Exactly.
Yeah, I get
Yeah,
that.
which has been really helpful, actually. Everybody kind of comes out the woodwork like, hey, you want this? And some of it's pretty cool.
Well, you got to get rid of stuff. So
Right.
You
can't just hoard it forever.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense.
No, but Cal loves playing basketball, and I don't know, he's just amazing, so.
That's awesome. Jordan or LeBron?
Oh, man, we could have a long conversation about that.
We could take the whole podcast.
Right.
Let's just put the budget aside. Let's just talk some basketball.
It's got to be Jordan, and maybe somebody would say I'm a homer because that's kind of who I grew up with. But man, Michael Jordan. It is Jordan. He's the best.
It is.
Jordan went to 6 finals. He won all 6 of them.
Yeah.
There was never a question when he took the final shot. LeBron does have some stats that are certainly better at this point.
He's a stats guy. He's a stats accumulator. That's okay. We are definitely moving into sports podcast territory, but
Jordan's a winner.
I'm with you.
Yeah.
I'm with you.
Yeah.
All right. So let's talk about what you're really here for.
Yeah.
You're the budget manager. Am I
Yeah.
getting that right? Is that the title? Budget
and financial planning manager. Yeah. Okay.
Money guy.
I do. I work with money.
How'd you get into that?
Yeah, so I actually started here 10 years ago and worked in behavioral health on a team called the Assertive Community Treatment Team. So I was not in finance. I was in psychology, and I worked with some stellar employees that are still here, Darren Darlington, Sarah Hafley, Nathan Fiedler. But after a few years, I have this kind of twin love of like mathematics, and I kind of wanted to move into a different direction and applied for, at the time, what was kind of a statistics job in health services, and did this big project and ended up getting the job. And, if you've ever looked at health services, one thing that they need probably more than statistics is they have 300 separate grant elements. So there's just a lot of
There's
finance
a bunch.
work. Yeah, it's
there's a lot.
It's the most complicated budget in the county, bar none. And so, I think it was just an opportunity that I had some of those skill sets to be able to work and start creating some of those financial dashboards and grant tracking mechanisms, and then work on health services budget, and then kind of work on their financial reporting. So that's kind of how I started, and it was just kind of gradual transition, probably a little bit farther from statistics and data modeling into finance, and eventually did that for a few years in health, and then came here to finance in this role, kind of looking at the county's overall budget. So it's been a great job.
You're everywhere. I see at every county commissioner meeting.
Yeah, I got to be there.
It's kind of an important thing to talk about. First of all, big congrats to you and your team,
Thank
the
you.
budget committee,
Yeah,
county commissioners, department heads
yeah.
for putting this all together.
It's a huge thing, and that's right. Like everyone, it's not just the budget team. Like this team and the team that I work on, and Robert Tento, our CFO, is phenomenal. But it's Nick as the budget officer, Eric and Whitney, and then department heads and business officers and business managers. They put in. People don't realize it, but they put in 4, 5, 6 months of their year really focused on this.
It's a long process, isn't it?
It really is.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really a long process, and so at the end of the day, we adopt this on June 24th, but there's hundreds of people that were working on this full time for a long time, and so it's not just the finance team; it's all throughout the agency.
Well, I can barely balance my personal budget, so I can't even imagine what you guys have to go through. All the changes, all the it's not just one and done. Too, there's maybe things that slip through the cracks, or you have to make revisions or things like that, or other money coming. I mean, I just can't even imagine all the ins, outs, the roller coaster ride of the budget process for you guys.
Yeah, it's a lot, and I mean, we meet with individual departments, whether it's what we call our internal service departments, which are the departments that provide services to to our departments that provide external services to the community. So like HR, legal, IT, facilities, administration, and finance. We not only meet with them and kind of discuss their needs, but then we meet with every single department, health services, community justice, juvenile, road, work with their business staff, their department heads to balance their budget and kind of go through line by line at times to make sure we're getting it right. But there's about 5 different stages in the budget where we're constantly making revisions until we get to kind of the adopted budget here. And then even after the adopted budget, I mean, we take resolutions all the time, recognizing more funds, or, we're making revisions to the budget process. So it's long. It's a long.
That's
journey.
work, man.
Yeah.
That's work, but it's
fun.
over.
It's over.
It's adopted.
It's adopted. Fiscal year 25 is adopted.
Okay.
So starting July 1st, we'll be in fiscal year 25.
All right, so let me ask you the big overarching 30,000-foot question.
Yeah.
How is the county doing financially?
That's a great question. And maybe we can break it up into more questions, because there's really...
Oh, there's more questions.
There's more questions. Okay.
This is not my forte. Asking a lot of questions to
Right.
the budget guy.
So it depends kind of where you are in the county. There's 84 different funds in the county and over 20 plus different departments. And some of the departments are incredibly fiscally strong, very fiscally stable. Their revenue sources are 100% going to come in, or they might even increase over the year, and they can cover their operational costs. And then there's other places where maybe those operational expenditures are more than the revenue they're bringing in. In those areas, they're not quite as fiscally stable. But I guess the long and short of it is there's no way to just sum up the counties in this position. You really have to look at department by department or function.
Talk a little bit about how the county or county gets its money, because I don't know if everybody knows. I mean, obviously taxes.
Sure.
I'm assuming the transit room tax is part of that as well. Mm-hmm. But then things like fees and, some departments are fully funded by those.
Right.
But maybe you can explain that a little bit and maybe kind of how that works and how inflation would probably shrink some of that stuff.
Certainly, yeah. So the general fund is mostly property taxes, as you talked about, and that comes through, our assessed value every year. But there are other funds like transient room tax, which helps fund part of the sheriff's office. It funds part of public health, and those are basically taxes on tourism-related facilities, Airbnbs, hotels, and we take those tax dollars and then we apply them to our operations. 30% of that can go to our operations, not to get too number heavy, but generally speaking, 70% has to go back out to tourism-related facilities and things of that nature. But there's so many different funding sources. I mean, health services is primarily state and federal grants, mostly state grants, but they also receive Medicaid dollars through insurance, through capitation. And then you have what we call enterprise funds like solid waste and Fair and Expo. And enterprise funds act as more of a business, and they can actually charge for their services the actual cost of the service. So when we talk about siting a new landfill or something like that, that's completely done through solid waste, kind of increasing their fees over time to pay for that. Same with Fair and Expo. The ticket prices or the amount to rent out the fair for a day for an event, those are standard fees, and those need to be aligned with the actual cost so that they can continue to expand the fair, do capital maintenance, and provide the excellent service they do.
Talk about temporary money. I mean, I call it temporary money, but that's probably not the best term for it. But things like grants or out of, things like COVID funding. I imagine those things are probably coming to an end. Is that having an impact with departments? Where that money is now not there, so now they've got to come to budget committee and be like, hey,
right.
We need some help here.
Yeah, certainly when grant funding drops off, no matter what grant it is, you're in a position where if you still have those positions, you have to find other funding, right? Otherwise, you do need to go to the board, and it's getting harder and harder to do that because there's less general fund, like we were talking about, and that's the money, either general fund or transient room taxes is what we call our discretionary funds that people ask for. And as that amount shrinks, we're not really able to cover as much operational services as we want. I would say as far as the pandemic, we had ARPA funds, the American Rescue Plan Act, which you've done a great series of videos on.
Oh, well, thank you, Dan. I appreciate that.
No, they're really good. And
you can watch them on our social media feeds.
No, the county has allocated like I believe $38.4 million, to different aspects, but a lot of it has gone to health services, public health, behavioral health. We have a behavioral health team. I don't want to speak too much for them, but that works, with homelessness, and a public health team that is still working with some of the broader public health impacts that COVID brought. And as those funds, will be expended by December of 2026, then, if you're going to try to continue with those positions, you would have to find either a different grant or some other kind of funding source.
It's interesting how it's all intertwined. One thing leads to another, which leads to another, which helps make decisions.
Right.
Whether it's, a lot of them are difficult, but still need to be made.
And that's what we try to do. I try to, I think everyone in finance, whether it's our CFO or myself, we try to take a step back and just provide the commissioners and administration with the pros and cons from a financial perspective. And then the value judgments are made by the Board of Commissioners about how they want to balance a budget.
Does math help you in that? Because math is very matter of fact.
Yeah.
Here's the answers. Here you go. Here's the math.
Right. I think it does help that you can, literally show, and you try to show it as simply as possible, how things are going to work. Some funds are much more complex than others. I used to do forecasting in health services, and that's a very, very difficult task because there's so many different revenue sources. But the general fund basically has property taxes, and so it's much easier. But of course, math helps. It's just different degrees of math depending where you're working.
Oh, come on. Forecasting, piece of cake.
Yeah.
Partly
totally.
cloudy,
Partly
partly sunny.
Yeah. 50% variance,
right,
whatever.
Right. Yeah.
As long as we're in the ballpark.
Yeah. Credit rating?
Yeah, so we do have, we go out to, anytime we have to go out for a big project like the courthouse that can't be, or solid waste, we do talk with Moody's rating agency, and they evaluate our credit worthiness, which means they look at our reserves, they look at how consistent the flows of revenue are. They go into minutia. They look at how much tourism we have, how's the urban growth boundaries, how many people continue to move to this area, and they make a final assessment, which is our credit rating. And right now, our credit rating is, I believe, the second highest that you can have as a governmental entity or as a local governmental entity, which is really, really impressive. And it's very important because that affects the interest rate that we have on these 20, 30-year loans on these massive capital projects. So it's really interesting to see if we were to lose our credit rating and our credit worthiness went down, maybe even one notch, that interest rate would skyrocket, and it would, on a $40 million project, it would be millions more that the county has to pay. Yeah. So it's really important that we continue to remain fiscally stable and continue to have those reserves for when we go out for these large capital projects.
You have some other big news to share as well.
Yeah.
It's my understanding that this might be the last day you set foot in this former office that might have been your wife's at one time.
This will definitely be the last time in this office. I have 2 more days here at the county technically, but yeah.
As of this recording, which is on June 25th, so right. I got to say that because this might not come out for a day or two.
For a while, yeah. Yeah, no, I'm moving on. Been here at the county for 10 years, so definitely bittersweet, but going to be the Chief Financial Officer at the Ben Lapine School District. Really excited about it. Great opportunity.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's big.
It's really big. It's a great opportunity for me, and I'm just very passionate about education and about our community, so I still get to serve just over there and get to take a step and kind of continue to learn, so I'm very excited.
Well, you'll be missed here.
Yeah.
We'll miss seeing you in all the the YouTube videos of the county commissioner meetings where you're at every single one of them.
Yeah, the light has a way of reflecting off my bald head.
Off the dome, yeah. It catches my gray hairs. So, well, congratulations. Thanks for all the work that you've done.
Yeah.
Thanks for the work you're going to do with Ben Lapine Schools. Big deal. And thanks for your brain. Yeah. And for processing all of this for us and help us, kind of navigate the difficult world of budgeting. So I appreciate you coming on.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Thanks for having me.
Again, my thanks to Dan Emerson, the budget manager for Deschutes County and the new CFO for Ben Lapine Schools, for joining us. If you want to learn more about the county budget, you can go to deschutes.org/finance. Lots of good information there. If you have a question about the budget or ideas for future podcasts, you can email us at info@deschutes.org. And remember, you can listen to us wherever you listen to your podcasts. Or you can find us at deschutes.org/podcast. But until next time, please be safe out there.